So, I know it's kind of weird to be talking about Hands of Time now because it's a very old news, but I've recently had the opportunity to rewatch some old Ninjago episodes which inspired me to create this video. After watching this season a second time around, my opinion has greatly changed, and I do believe that this season is highly underrated and possibly the best Ninjago season there is. Keep in mind, this is my own opinion and many of you probably won't share that, and that's perfectly alright. I'll be breaking down some of the season and discussing what I enjoyed about it and what I disliked. I think it's safe to say that there isn't really much to dislike about this season since it's so unique, but I'll get into that later. If you guys didn't know already, this season was written by Davyd. This is the same writer who wrote Ninjago's Day of the Departed special. For this reason, there are some noticeable differences between Shane's writing style and the style of the Hageman brothers who have written all the previous Ninjago seasons. There is some very funny and different writing in this season. I did find it to have more of an emphasis on humor to make it as kid-friendly as possible. Not all the intended humorous scenes were funny, but I did find myself laughing at some points, like when Zane's voice box was broken and he just started rambling random stuff about cranberries, trying to warn the ninja about the Vermilion presence. I do believe that the inclusion of humor was necessary though, as this season is quite dark. It was on the similar level to Possession, and the humor did brighten up the mood occasionally. I do commend the lighting used in these episodes as well, as I believe it was done so perfectly in some episodes. There is this one scene in the episode Pause and Effect where the Vermilion leaders are standing on top of a snow-filled mountain range, and the lighting in the sky reflecting the red onto the snow is representing the beginning of a doomsday for the ninja. That scene just looked so good, I had to point it out in this review. Additionally, the soundtrack used in the season was phenomenal. They managed to include multiple soundtracks from different seasons like Rebooted and made great use of them. It really built the tension and expressed how important the situation was in certain scenes. They also had some pretty good original soundtracks created for this season. Now let's dive into the characters. As the main antagonists, I did find Crux and Acronix to be sufficient in their roles. They were your typical I want to rule Ninjago type of villain with the unique twist, which was their catchphrase, control time, control everything. Supreme Commander Machia also did a good job of portraying the superior and intellectual Vermilion general over the two other commanders like Ragmonk and Blanc. Speaking of those two, I actually really enjoyed their screen time. Commanders Ragmonk and Blanc remind me of Generals Cruncha and Knuckle way back when from the pilot episodes of Ninjago. They were your comedic duo, always getting into fights with each other. Although I will say that their characters aren't as consistent as Cruncha and Knuckle. Cruncha was always the one calling Knuckle the idiot because he would always do stupid things and ask stupid questions. Yet with Ragmonk and Blanc, they both do stupid things and always call each other out for it. I did really like them though. We also got introduced to a new mysterious character known as the New Samurai X. At the time of the season, we really didn't know who that was, and I'm quite glad that they didn't reveal this character's identity so soon like they did with Samurai X in Season 1. As for Kai's parents, they really didn't have much screen time as I would have liked, so I can't really judge their characters yet. However, the moment where Kai and his parents met for the first time in ages was a great scene. I thought it displayed the frustration in Kai and how he didn't know what to believe anymore. That, in my opinion, was the perfect way to demonstrate the reunion of Kai and his parents, which brings us into the storyline. There were several story arcs within the season that I thought were pretty interesting. The entire idea revolves around Ninjago's past and finally finding out the truth to everything. Wu goes through this struggle where he has to come face to face with his past mistakes, which were the ghosts that still haunt them. The dreams and hallucinations he had were perfectly implemented in order to convey that point. This season also explores Lloyd's leadership and how he has to learn how to take control in place of his dying master. It kind of prepares us for what's to come in the next season, where Lloyd is going to be the only sensei since Wu is gone. The main focus of the story is on Kai and Nia. Although we had many Kai seasons in the past, this one is different because it also emphasized his sister. There are multiple conflicts in this season, for example finding the time reversal blade in order to both save Wu and Rei, as well as stopping the Hands of Time from controlling all of time. We are introduced to a very unique enemy, as the Vermilion are made up of snakes and can reform their soldier bodies after being hit or damaged. The one thing that I didn't really like about them was the fact that they were just all mindless zombies that didn't talk or have any life to them. They just obeyed all the orders from Supreme Commander Machia. But I guess it's alright, since the high-ranking commanders of the army had some character and life to them. I did like the multiple new environments we were introduced to, especially the hidden Vermilion swamp nest base underneath the city. I thought that was a very cool place to explore. The entire concept of the Iron Dune was also very interesting in my opinion. It's a functioning snake mech that carries hundreds of Vermilion troops as well as travels throughout time. The battles fought in the season looked very good and some of the best I've seen in the entire Ninjago series. The huge final battle at the monastery was very entertaining, and the emotional battle towards the end in the actual Iron Dune mech was also very pleasing to watch. The loss of Wu also packed an emotional punch and finally sets up the Sensei Lloyd idea that they've been trying to prepare for earlier in the season. This cleverly sets up the story for the next Ninjago season, as Lloyd will have to learn to lead the ninja team in order to recover Wu from time. Overall, this season was very unique and quite different from what I've seen so far with Ninjago. There are some moments where I was reminded of older Ninjago seasons in my first times of watching the show. The soundtracks of older seasons really helped with the feeling of nostalgia. With that being said, this was a breath of fresh air for Ninjago, and this season has really grown on me after watching it multiple times. It's a really great season, especially when you stop and think about how this season is probably one of the most vital ones to ever exist. It essentially sets up Sons of Garmadon and the Wu Dilemma, and plays such an important role in transitioning old-style Ninjago ninja designs into their newer updated movie versions, and I genuinely feel like this season is probably the best Ninjago season, as it's basically a stepping stone that gets us prepared for new Ninjago. It was just overall a great experience, and I'd love to hear what you all think about this down in the comment section below. If you guys enjoyed today's video, then a like rating would obviously be very appreciated. And if you guys are new to the channel, then please subscribe so that you guys stay up to date on all the latest Ninjago videos. And finally, hit that notification bell so you guys don't miss out on any more of my Ninjago content. We'll catch you all in the next one. Peace out, guys.